Hey, welcome back to Copperhead Customs, and welcome back to a new episode on our 39 Bedford under $5,000 build. If you're new to the channel, go down there, catch up with all the other episodes. There's 27 odd episodes, and there's videos on a heap of other cars. All right, and you'll see everything that we're coming up. So this car will go, and that's what it looked like when we got it. Yes, it had been sitting in a paddock, cab only, for 60 years. We are nearly at the completion. So, today, what are we going to do? Well, we are going to attempt, that's right, attempt, because I've never, ever done this, to rebuild this front end of this. So we've got to finish taking the brakes apart. We've got to take the stub axles off, the steering arm off, the tie rod ends off, the lower control arm and upper control arms off. We're going to try to replace the ball joints, top and bottom. We'll see how we go. We'll see if we can press out the rear bushes too, but we don't know if we'll have success on that. But so yes, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can achieve. So we've just gone down and bought this ball joint remover kit. We don't have a press. We're going to try to do it all with that. So I think that was $110. So this is just showing you. This is going to try. We're going to try to show you. You can do this at home. Yeah? You go buy that kit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll pull it off. Let's see how we go. A rebar. So, we'll do a bit of in and out on here, right? So we've pulled the front brakes apart. Well, we didn't actually pull much apart. They actually fell apart on us. Because... yeah, they weren't in very good condition. And if you can see the meat on that pad, yeah, look at that. That one had heaps of meat. No pads, bare metal. So, yeah, quality. Anyway, the whole thing just fell apart on us. So I did that the other week. We took off the big nut. Is on the outside there of your wheel. Studs. These two bolts here. There's two of them. They went through here and here. Let's turn. Can we turn this? Oh, there we go. So they went through there, and they actually bolted into our steering arm here, which was like that. Okay, inside there, and that joins onto our tie rods. So that's just sitting down there. Next step is we'll take this off. This also bolts into our... I'm filming from the wrong side there, aren't I? We'll go this way. Right, this also bolts into this. Our spindle, once that's off, we can remove the whole backing plate of the drum brakes. And let's just get that out of the way, and then we'll go from there. Then the plan is we will unbolt the shocker. Now, remembering an earlier episode, I've already had this side apart because I chopped our springs down a little bit. So we should have no issues here, but here's something for you to check. Now, to see the lower control arm, now this is only for drum brakes, peoples, okay? The lower control arm hits this ridge of the backing plate of the drum brakes only, okay? With a disc, it wouldn't happen, but with the drums, it does. So what you can do is you can just loosen these and loosen this top one, and you have to pull this away. So you don't have to take them all out if you don't want to. You can just loosen them enough to pop this back to give you room to drop your lower control arm. Okay? In our case, we're going to remove it totally because we want to clean everything, and we're going to replace a whole heap in here. Okay? But if you are just doing your ball joint and you want to keep all this on the car, that's how you have to do it with the drum brake front. Okay? We have two little bolts up in there next to our hose that holds on our wheel cylinder, which will need to be replaced. We'll do that off the car. We've got our top ball joint nut and our bottom ball joint nut that need to be taken off. These should actually separate quite easily. Like I said, I've had this apart. These are our sway bar links, drop links. The bushes you can see there are totaled, so we'll have to undo that top and bottom. We'll replace we'll see if we've got the shafts. I think I do. I'll replace the shafts too. So shock out. Then we can come up to the top here and we've got, this is their shocker top bolt. Now with this one, generally you'll find that it's not the greatest light, I'm sorry. With that nut there, you'll generally find that the top of this will spin as well, which is the whole shocky shaft. So you have to put a small spanner or a shifter onto this when you undo this nut. Okay, so that gets the top of the shocker off. Now with these top arms, there's 2 bolts on the inside to undo. We undo them, then that can come off. Our top ball joint, as you can see, normally these are press like a huge pop rivet on steroids. These ones have been bolted, so they've been replaced before, and they actually look pretty good. So we'll have a look at these. We may or may not replace them. We have got them, so maybe we will. The bottom ones are destroyed, I'd say, so we'll definitely be changing the bottom ones. Then also on the lower control arm at the back there's 2 bolts. Okay, so it's just as easy to undo those 2 bolts, get this arm off, and do it like so. This can be done on the car. We're going to dismantle the whole thing, pull it all off, clean everything. I don't think we're going to paint the arms. I don't think I'm going to paint the arms. I don't know. I'll think about that because it doesn't really go with our look. But I may or may not. Jury's out on that. And we'll have a go. I think we're going to have a go with that tool and see if we can drive out these lower control arm bushes. The top ones, well, we'll see. We may attempt the top ones too. We'll see what this tool that we've bought can do. Okay, so I'll put you on time lapse now. I'll start undoing all this malarkey. You can actually watch me undoing it all, and then we'll call back in once I've got it all torn down. All right, Arepa.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away. As you fade away.
Like nothing I found, my mind
You're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that.
Right, we are back, and we actually got the tool works pretty well, guys. It popped them out without I used my rattle gun. Bang, popped them. Much easier than I thought, but this one's got a bit of a woof. This one's had a clout. So we're gonna I'll heat it up with the blowtorch over there, the map gas torch. I'm gonna heat this up and see if I can clout this back a bit. Really, we sort of need a new lower. So we're gonna see what I can do about giving this a bit of a woof back. Alright. Maybe I should have done that before I pulled it out. But anyway, that one there is, and this was like it. See, look at that. It had a fair old whack. So this one was actually half popped. So it's lucky we did these. Anyway, the tool so far is a success. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, we're going okay. I don't know if it's going to work on the top ones yet. We haven't even got to that. Which one about the bottom one? As you've seen, I scraped it all up first. And yeah, now let's give this some heat and see what we can do with this. Alright. Ripa.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just get buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days.
welcome back. Right, it is the next day. As you can well see, it is pouring with rain. And look, yeah, that's a huge pile of bricks. That's what I've been doing this morning. He's going and picking them up. Yeah, bricks everywhere. That's going to be our floor out there. That's another story. Anyway, back onto what we were doing yesterday, which was something that is not on YouTube, but it's going to be soon, is our upper and lower control arms. The light is terrible there. I will bring them up. So we lost a little bit of footage. I actually dropped the camera and it had a bit of a meltdown, but I've fixed it. So we did this is our upper control arm. As you can see, the ball joint was very easy. It was just a bolt in thing, put the grease nipple in, and it's been greased up. Now, the rear ones, I got, look at that. Oh yeah, they are new bushes in there. So that is number one. Now we'll talk more about this in a second. And the last thing you probably seen was we gave this lower control arm a little tickle up, because over here, because it was pretty badly bent, because it had obviously had a whack. Now, for all the people that are gonna carry on, we will swap this out at a later date. Okay, I'll get another set of bushes and ball joint, and we'll swap this lower control arm. I'll probably do them both, because it looks like, I think the other one has a little hit too, so they've had a hard life. Now, we heated this up, bent it, and then let it cool nicely. We slowly let it cool by adding a little bit of heat here and there. Okay, so before all the keyboard warriors get in and say we've weakened this, do some research about metal. Okay, do some research. Okay, we have not weakened it in any way, shape or form, because we slowly heated it up and then we slowly cooled it back down. Now, if you know anything about metal has molecules. So when you heat it up slowly, you relax all the molecules and they all spread away. Okay, then when you cool it slowly, all the molecules come back in and they all form up and make a nice little tightness. Okay, now if we were to heat this up and then just throw water on it and quickly cool it, then we would weaken it. Okay, but the way that we've done it, we have not weakened the metal. Okay, just for the keyboard warriors that are probably typing as we speak, that we've weakened that part. We haven't weakened that part at all. All right. Anyway, but we will replace this at a later date. But if you have a look, I know this is a little bit ugly here, because this was actually pretty bad. I don't know, to find the old bush that come out is this one. It had quite a whack. Okay, so we have new bushes pressed in and new ball joint pressed in. How did we do this? Well, I'll tell you what we didn't do is we did not use a 10-ton press, because I don't own one. And pretty well, I cannot find a video on YouTube of anyone doing that without a 10-ton press. No one. I've found videos of people taking the bushes out, but no one shows themselves putting them back in, because most people can't get them back in. They have issues, so they go down to the local mechanic. Okay, well, we're going to show you, when I do the other side, how we achieved it. Now, as you can see, I've got nearly every freaking tool known to mankind out on the bench, which, before we continue, I'm going to have to tidy. But all we did is we used, you need to just go buy two things, basically, other than spanners and sockets and paraphernalia. You need to make a couple of little things up. And we used the kit that I showed you. I think I showed you this kit over here, which has got nothing in it at the moment because they're all on the bench. But yeah, so that is the ball joint remover kit. That's a Tool Pro one. You get that at Super Cheap Auto or from Americans, I don't know, Harbour Freight or whatever you have. And then the other one we used, which is the same brand, is actually the ball joint separator kit. Now, the remover kit was 110. Can't actually remember what that one was. I think it was under 100. So it's a lot cheaper than going and buying a 10-ton press, let me tell you, okay? And so what we will do is when we do the other side, hopefully it works just as good as this side, we'll show you what I did. So what we will do though is I'm going to put out just a straight up how-to video to how to do this as well. But you guys, because you're watching the series, you're getting, you're going to get your own footage of this, okay? That we will be able to see. But there will be a proper how-to if you want to see a more in-depth of how it's done. I'm going to have a dedicated video solely on this. All right. So if you ever have to do it, so there's a few little things you'll have to make. Let me tidy all this mess up, and we'll call back in, and I'll just explain what I had to. They're not hard, just a couple of little things. Okay, Reaper.
I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive.
Right, so we tidied that up. Now I think what I'm going to do, see, we need there's a big selection of stuff you need. This is the pulley we needed out of the other kit. It was to actually get the bushes out of it helped us with that. I'll just run you guys through what the process was. Because what we're going to do in this video is we are going to reassemble this side, okay? Before I attempt the other side, we're going to reassemble this side, and we will do the how-to on the other side. So you'll just see probably time lapse in the next video of the other side, okay? Basically, if you really want to know how to do it, you'll have to go watch the how-to video. Right, so this is what we did. We will start with the lower because that's what we did first, okay? So the lower control arm, we basically, with this kit, you can do the lower control arm. All right, you use your I don't know what you'd even call that. That's basically your press, yeah? So I think we had one of these, basically either side. From memory, and we're basically, you put the big one, I'm pretty sure it was the big one here we ran, put the big one on the outside here, so basically you get whatever will fit, that goes just around the outside of that, okay? I'm pretty sure we had to use the big one. Let me just check so you can actually see properly. Yeah, see, so that one actually touches, so that one was no good, you have to use the big one, alright? You then stick one of these on there. Alright? So that's on that side. On the other side, I found, I'm pretty sure it was this one here, was pretty good. And we sat that there like that. And then we got this. And this has a small end, which actually fits inside there, and the big end locates on there. So do that on that, put it on the rattle gun, dugga 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 dugga. This pushes through. Basically, as soon as it pops out of this, it's out. Now, what I did find was these will move. These two, sorry, the dodgy camera, or I swapped hands. These will move. Okay. So what you need to do is, you need to cut yourself a little packer that goes in here. All right, you could go into there to there, but probably just outside to outside. Cut a little packer. So we used a piece of RHS and whatever, but before I do the other side, I will actually cut a piece of pipe. I'll get a piece of pipe and turn it into like a, probably like a C or something, and slide that in to that measurement there, which is ballpark about 38 mil or something. Yeah, so you put a 38 mil packer in there, which stops these two faces compressing in or expanding out, whichever. All right, so that helps you both ways. That helps you pushing it out, and that will be used when you push the new one in. So that's that part, right? That's pretty easy. So you use this setup, okay? We'll push them out. Then when we go to put the new one in, it's basically the same it's basically the exact same idea, but this time, this one we don't want to use the big one. We want to use a smaller one, which presses on there. So you could either use this ring here, would do the job. See that? Fits perfectly. So you put that ring on, and on the back side, you need one there. So you use that one on there. You could use that one on there, actually. That's a better idea. Use that one there, and you can actually just press onto this. All right? So that's how you do that one. Oh, here you go. What's this one here? There you go. There's your presser there. Okay? Or you could run that there. So yeah, you use those two. Right? That gets you to drive the new one in. But make sure you put your packer in. Right? The ball joint itself. Now the ball joint itself was a little bit more trickier. Okay, guys? So what I did here is I chopped up an old racing lower control arm, and because the ball joint has this little hump, the frame here has this little hump, and this is a little bit oblong, I made this little one up, which actually fits in there. Okay, so this here is a piece of inside diameter. You need the inside diameter to be, we'll go from 100, basically around the 55 for the inside. Okay, now what I found is you take the rubber boot off, pop that off so you don't damage it, and then put that on there, and as you can see, that actually snugs up pretty good. Comprende, right? Then what we did is, so we're pushing through this way, right? So we need to have something on here. So then what I did is I used, I think, it was one of these. You know, you can, you get the kit, okay? You get the kit. You can try 100 different ways. You can do whatever you want, all right, with this kit. You just pick which one you like. Pitch which one fits nice. I think with the bolt off, it might have been that one. Actually, I think it might have been this one that we used with the bolt off. And the same on the other side. You pick one that, lift it up. Pick one that gets onto there. All right, it's just hard trying to hold. So see, like this one here, no, it wasn't that one. It was, is it that one? That one does work, but that's not the one I used. Anyway, the one of them worked pretty good, and it actually sat just there, okay? I think it was this little tiny one, actually. So basically, it's all in this kit, right, that you buy. I think it was this one here. So take that one off of there. Pick this up. I know you're jiggling all around, but it's because I'm trying to do two things. So that one there worked without the grease nipple on, of course. That one there worked. Push in, bomb, bang. And all of a sudden that one drives in. Now you've got to be careful with this one, because this one did want to kick a little bit. But in the end, with that on, we could actually give that a little hit with the hammer, and it was all safe because there was no damage getting done, right? So there is the lower control arm using the tool. Just using that tool only, right? We had to make this up, is all. Just a little, you just need to make a spacer up, right? You don't have to have that crap on it. That's just me dodging. So I'll clean that one up, and I'll actually stick that away. We'll keep that. So there's our lower done. All we got to do is buy the bottom mount rubbers, and our lower's done. Beautifuls. Yes, beautifuls. We're happy with that one. We are happy with that one. So we stick him under here because he's got to get put back on in a second. Now, with the uppers. The uppers, I thought there's no freaking way. Well, I actually, if you've seen in the other videos, I said we weren't going to do the bushes because I didn't actually think we could do those bushes. All I was doing was the ball joints, right? I didn't think it was possible to do the bushes. Now on YouTube, there are a few people that use this kit to remove the bushes from their lower control arm. But I have not seen anyone put them back in. Okay? And actually I've seen a few people cut them out and then say you've got to go see the mechanic. Well, we're not into going to the freaking mechanic because we're not. So, with this one, our ball joint was very easy because it was bolted. Yours, if it's never been touched, which it probably has been, these will be, like I said, those little pop rivets that you'll have to grind off and punch out, right? Or maybe even re-drill, whatever. You may be lucky like me and someone's already done them once. Now, our ball joints actually weren't that bad up here, but we replaced them anyway. Now with this though, this was a bit more of a challenge. So, this is what we did. Undid our two nuts to start with, took off our two little pack washers, right? Then what we did was, I cut a 30mm little piece of exhaust pipe. It sits over there. Yeah? I then grabbed a flat plate with a hole. Now that hole's actually a little bit too big, but a flat plate with a hole that slides over. So we got that. Yes? And we then used our nut and done it up. And that actually starts to pull these around, right? It actually starts to loosen it up. Once we get a bit of movement in this, we then made this little thing, which we then stuck in between the bush and that little sleeve. Okay, so once you get some movement in this rod, you can be able to move the rod back and forward, okay? Then stick this in so that you're not driving this lip in and flaring that out. So you stick that in there. And you drive this as far as you can. Okay? Then it will bottom out. It will get to a point where it bottoms out. Then you make another one of these at 40mm. And you repeat the process and drive it out some more. Then what we did was we then used this. We've still got this in there, remember? We then used this, which we clamped on to there, like so. Following? Are we following? Yes, we're following. And then we used this and did this up, which drove the last bit out. Okay, because then what we're doing is we use that to then push the rod that way. Okay. Now, I'll have to just recheck. I think when we did that, we actually moved this to the other side, to our gap over there, when we did that bit. And then basically you pop that out, okay? And then you just do the same procedure on the other end. All right, so that's where you needed the other kit, was for this one here, and it was to drive that out the final way. Now, putting it back in. So put it back in, what did we do to put it back in? To put it back in, we basically did the reverse. We used one of these, I'm pretty sure, and we set it all up with our packer. We'll go through it all properly, but with what we just showed you, with those bits, we could drive it back on. We drove them back in. All the way, perfect. Thank your mother for the rabbits. Alrighty. So, I hope that somewhat helps. You'll be a lot more informative. We're not going to do, when you actually watch the other video, it'll be a lot more informative and you'll actually see the procedure. I'll probably have to fumble through it because I've half forgotten already what we did yesterday, because there was a little bit going on last night to get it all done, but we did get it worked out in the end. And, yeah, we did have a couple of big sockets out for some reason too. I actually used as like a little to tap. That might have been to tap the final bit in, maybe, of them or something. I can't actually remember what that was for. But anyway, enough rambling. We're going to start assembling this side now, and yeah, Reaper. Right, so this is where we're up to. We've got the upper in, ball joint bolted up into the spindle with the split pin, the springs in, the lower control arms bolted in with our 2 bolts at the back. Now, we haven't done them up yet. The lower control arm is not done up. The bottom ball joint's been done with the split pin. We've put the new drop link bushes in and done up, top and bottom, for the sway bar, so that's done. Like I said, we haven't done these up, but the nuts are on. So what you do is, you jack the arm up, get it to ride height, basically. If you know what I mean by that. So as if the car is on the ground, basically, and it's got the weight on, and then you do them up. You do these up at ride height, okay? You don't do them up when they're hanging like this, because what happens is the bush basically gets tight, and then when this comes to ride height, the bush actually will have tension under it, sitting there all the time. So yeah, you jack this back up to do that, okay? So we are going to stop the video at this point because we're actually getting a little bit long, and we're going to jump straight into the next episode. Continuing this, we will continue bolting all this on. We will do the brakes, get the brakes all on. We'll probably put new bearings in the hubs as well. So we'll do all that in the next video. Get all the brakes on in the next one. Get this side completely buttoned up in the next one. But I think we're close to hitting 40 minutes, so that's 10 minutes past what I like to do them in. So that will be the next video, which will start straight away. And then when we do the other side we'll actually do a bit more probably of the other side will be broken up, and we'll get the how-to video done on the other side showing you how to do it all, if you ever want to do this. So for the Americans, this is basically the same as the GM lower control arm. It's pretty much identical, so they're all sort of the same. Like this is a Holden, HQ Holden chassis, which is a General Motors. So they're basically all the same sort of products. So very similar setup for any GM lower control arm. I'd say my Pontiac up the top's the same. You know, any GM product, but this is solely, this one is actually HQ Holden chassis, remember? So even though this is a Bedford, this is a Holden HQ chassis. So for those Holden H series people, if you want to do this at home, it can be done. I'm just showing you it can be done. You can do all this at home with some hand tools, all right? So what we'll do is we'll go and then we'll say, wait, aha, nearly. So we are climbing in subscribers, comments, everything's going good, guys. I'd like to thank yous all. Thank yous, and let's keep growing this channel. Yeah? Thanks for watching, and now we'll go. Ba-di-ba-da-da-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-ba.